Comic Army. Happy New Comic Book Day. It's been a day. So I'm glad that it's over, and I'm glad that I picked up some books, and some of my favorite characters came out this week. Like one of the guests who is backstage right now said, it's actually a little bit of a lighter week. I would agree. It is a little bit of a lighter week, but that doesn't mean that it's content light. It's I think it's a little bit more of a lighter week when it comes to money saved in my wallet. And so my wallet right now is okay with me. It's not as high, or last week was a little bit lighter too, but the last couple weeks have been, heavy that way. Anyways, I'm gonna bring a couple guys that are hanging out backstage. So the nicest guy in the comic book community, the grandfather of the Grow Together initiative, Gary B, the casual comic guy.
Hey, good evening, cubes of the cash. What is going on, Comic Army?
Thanks for coming out, Gary. And one of the stewards of this channel that's here every Wednesday, it's Digger Jim.
Hey.
How's it going, guys?
Good. Hey, where's Taylor Windback? Winder. I mean, just shots fired, Taylor. That's just to get you to come on here and fight me, buddy. Get on
here.
Here
Soon enough, I'm sure.
It's,
What's up, you nerds?
Let's say a quick hello to the chat before we talk about what actually the three of us were speaking about backstage. It's going to be an interesting topic. Chop and Drop, again, one of the nicest guys in the comic community, always seems to have time for everyone's videos. Chop, hope that you're doing well. Like Hex, hey there, order the X-Force Killshot Venom Pool covers from Devil Dog Comics. All right. I did not know that there was going to be an X-Force Killshot Venom Pool cover. I'm going to have to look into that. Again, Las Cruces 1971. Hello, my man. Thanks for spending some time with us. And the chat just jumped on me. Again, Kyle, one of the other nicest guys in the comic community. Kyle, hope that you and your sister are doing well. Thanks for spending some time with us. And Paul Rogers, my man. Hope that this comic book day, yesterday and today, were beneficial for your company. Hope that you're doing well. And Gary, well, here you go, my man. Taylor, how are you?
What's up, guys? How y'all doing?
But all right, TJ's in the house. Flash by Night, what's up, my man?
TJ.
And so let me get that down. So one, I believe it was Jim mentioned backstage that my favorite Spider-Man Rogue Gallery members is getting his own movie, and they've already messed it up. Ladies and gentlemen, Kraven the Hunter is getting his own movie, and they're going to have him as a defender of animals, and he's going to be going after people that harm animals. With that said, before we get into this, guys, I'm going to show the latest cover appearance of Kraven the Hunter that I own. This is also this book is so popular it actually made they made it into a Walmart variant as well. ASM 79. This is Kraven the Hunter, and look what he's wearing. Oh yes, he's wearing his lion head vest that he's worn since the early 60s when he was first introduced. In every form of media that Kraven the Hunter has appeared, he's been wearing this. And we're talking about a Rogue Gallery member that is arguably the primary character in the best Spider-Man story ever written, The Death of Kraven or Kraven's Last Hunt, whatever, however you recognize that story. But this, to everyone, is Kraven the Hunter. How in the world Sony is going to pull off this, I don't know. Jim, you're the one that actually brought it up to us. Jim, like, what are your thoughts? I know that you're a Spider-Man guy, not as much as Batman, but I know that you are a Spider-Man guy too.
I just can't figure out why they would even want to take it in that direction. Like, you bombed on Carnage. All right, let me back up. I liked Venom. Okay. Carnage, I didn't even see because you guys said it was so bad, and I believe it. I haven't heard anyone say it was good. Even my brother-in-law, who isn't a comic book person, was like, yeah, that was weird. So what are they doing? Yeah. Who is running the ship over there to say, yeah, let's make Kraven a member of PETA and have him be, like a lover of animals, and he'll just kill people who hurt them. That's not who Kraven is. I can't do it. I can't do it. That's it. That's all I got.
And, I'm easy to please when it comes to movies, right? I just want to be entertained. And even I, who hardly hate anything out there movie-wise, just thought the 2 Venom movies were hot garbage. Like, and I actually, I saw them for my kid, but in the movies, I'm like, oh my gosh, am I going to stay awake this whole thing? But how do you take someone who has trophy heads of animals on their wall, mounted, wears animals, and is only hunting humans because now they're the greatest sport? He's already hunted every form of wildlife that he can and has overcome it. So now he's turned into superheroes. So it's just sounds like a big miss and a fail.
Yeah, like they got themselves an actor who, with facial hair, I get that he would be a slimmer version of what I picture Craven as. I picture Craven as a large man, and
like the CEO of Jimmy John's.
Yeah, like or your former president's son. Yeah, but it's just like you can't, like, there's certain things with characters you don't mess around with. This is like that whole idea when Tim Burton was going to make Superman without a cape. Like, come on, like there's certain things you just don't do. And taking the whole animal aspect away from Kraven the Hunter, his backstory is he's hunted everything. Now he's on to superheroes because nothing else is a challenge. Like, that's the entire premise of the character. And they built this entire lore with Kraven the Hunter, and then in turn created the best Spider-Man story, in my opinion, ever made with that premise. So much so that he was fed up with all of it that he decided to take his own life at the end of it.
And I was rooting for Joe Manganiello to be Kraven. That poor guy cannot catch a break in a superhero movie. He can. Yeah. He showed up at the end of Justice League and looked amazing, and then he never got his due. He never got to play the character more. And this poor guy can't catch a break, and he should really be in one of these movies.
Taylor, do you even care?
No.
Okay, Mark,
it's Sony. They're going to fuck it up. Like Sony's just going to. They have zero chance of getting it right.
In all fairness, Chris, no one cares about a standalone Kraven the Hunter movie, whether they're portraying him right or not.
Right.
Like, if we're being honest. Like, I don't even think with this character you even have those people you had for Morbius. Oh, this is my favorite character. They're finally making a movie out of him. I've loved him I don't think you have those people. It's nobody's favorite character. He's not. He's cool at times, but he's just Kraven. That's all.
But what do they? So why even do it? That's my whole point.
Well, he's a foundational piece of the Sinister Six, right?
Yeah,
every incarnation they've had the Sinister Six, Kraven the Hunter, the majority of the time has been there, including the original lineup. So
they want that Sinister Six movie so bad they can taste it. They're just going to force it out. They've got nothing else. I mean,
I was going to say, to your point, Mark, the Spider-Man characters is all Sony's got left. So they're trying to milk whatever Spider characters they can because they don't have the movie license to anything else now.
Anything. Yeah, nothing.
And the thing is,
be smart if they would look to smaller publishers. You know what I'm saying? Like, go get stuff that. I mean, it sounds how it sounds, but whoever it was made the Bloodsport movie. I mean, it did. I mean, you're able to get a hold of other characters.
Go get the Valiant universe, yeah.
Not
or go get some of these new indies like Rogue Sun or something, or Radiant Black.
No, skip Radiant Black. That's garbage.
But
they can make their own Power Rangers, though, Mark.
The thing about Morbius versus Kraven.
Working on that one.
Morbius versus Kraven. Morbius is essentially a good guy. The whole idea of Morbius to me is Jekyll and Hyde. You know, he's trying to fix whatever medically, and he turned out to be. And his flip side is that he's a vampire, and blah blah blah. There's nothing good about Kraven the Hunter. Kraven the Hunter is not an anti-hero.
Without the 90s cartoon vagina hands sucking people's life force because they couldn't show fangs and blood.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm good, Kyle. Thank you.
No, you're right, Chris. Though there's nothing redeemable about Kraven.
No, Kraven is just a villain.
He's psychotic.
Well, that's why they're gonna make him.
Nobody wants a kinder, gentler Kraven.
I do.
Somebody in Sony does.
When it's time, I hope Sony is not the one that has something that's killing the children.
Or
the Department of Truth.
Have y'all thought about that? Like, have y'all even imagined what his outfit will even be in this? Is it just going to be regular clothes?
That's what we're talking about.
Who knows?
This
is Kraven the Hunter.
Watch it be spandex, Mark, with like a spandex.
He's gonna have on
face on it.
joggers. He's gonna have on some of those Amazon joggers that increase your butt performance. You know what I'm saying? Instead of like some leopard print pants.
He's just gonna be wearing khakis.
Yeah, just that's what I thought. The photos that I've seen, it looks like he might have left an event and gotten to a chase. He's like hanging onto the side of a car with what looks like black slacks and a white shirt minus the jacket kind of thing.
I'll say if he's not wearing animals either, maybe he's just dressed all in hemp clothes.
That would be cool. His biggest enemy is a spark.
Right? No sneakers because they got
Up in
leather,
smoke.
right? He's just going to be wearing all hemp.
I
Gonna
don't know.
turn him into a straight up hippie all around.
It's
Save the animals, man.
Something is smoking the
Spider-Man,
Craven.
dude.
Yeah.
Get off my lawn.
I
Look, on the
believe in
best,
that.
even if they didn't change the character, Sony still has no shot at getting that movie right.
Like, yeah, even
Well, because he's
my
not.
point is, even if they get him 100% right, it still doesn't make for a good movie.
Yeah.
Unless he's fighting Spider-Man directly, no. Unless he's
What's it going to
fighting
be?
Spider-Man
Him versus
directly.
an elephant?
What they
Like,
should
He's
have
gonna
done.
be, dude. He's gonna be versing anti-Craven. Whatever the other hunter is, he's gonna be versing. He's gonna be hunting another person like himself, but who's poaching animals. I bet, and they go after poaching each other. It's gonna be surviving the game minus the good.
Minus
And-
Ice-T. Yeah.
And why?
Rucker Hauer,
that's
Ice-T. That was a fire movie.
Yeah.
And why keep
Charles
having
Dutton? Come on,
these villains and trying to turn them into heroes? They're villains for a reason.
because
Right.
of Venom's success. Not just like financial success with the film, but the idea
the
of like anti-heroes being popular right now because our society is weird right now.
Right.
Like there's only been a handful of
Craven is
movies
not a
that
punishing
were
character.
yeah, I was just gonna say there's been a handful of movies where the superheroes that are an anti-hero actually performed well at the box office. Like the Wolverine might be the one that stands up above everything else.
Did that even perform well though?
Like
I know, like quality wise, like it's
or
ridiculous.
Logan, yeah,
Logan.
or Logan, yeah.
Yeah, I think Logan underperformed financially because by then X-Men was tainted.
Cat fans joined us. Miss So has joined us, listening from work. But yeah,
Travis.
this one kind of got under my skin, and the day that I'm having today, like I was just like, oh, this is
But
this
you
is
gotta
the
keep
stuff
the
I need to
plus
talk
on
about
this,
and vent
Chris.
about.
On the plus side, all those Craven keys are going to be real affordable as soon as that movie comes out.
Oh,
Lord.
for any of you that want to work on the death of Craven in the 9.8 across those 6 issues, give it a year.
Yeah.
Right?
After
it a
the
year.
release, they'll
Yeah.
drop like a stone.
Yeah, the ASM 15 that you're waiting for, just give it a little bit more time.
Right? You'll get it for $5. It'll be in the dollar
Yeah.
bin, right?
Yeah. You know, I just thought like there's no way. Okay, they're gonna make a movie about Kraven the Hunter. All right. I hope they go down the path where his father was a psychopath and that his mother was trying to be the bread and butter and and that backstory. They can even talk about Kraven the Hunter's son if they want to do that too. You know, and just say like have him take down big things and now he's tired of hunting animals. It's on to superheroes and have him try and find Venom or something, and I'm sure Tom Hardy needs the work. So they could be something like that.
Well, Tom
and,
Hardy will be in the movie somehow.
yeah.
I'm sure Venom will be in it for sure.
But my God, like that he's a protector of animals now. That's why I said his last cover appearance in the franchise actually made it as a Walmart variant as well. And yes, Arthur Adams hit it out of the park. He's wearing his famous lion head.
Chris, in their defense, they don't care about the comics. And interesting enough, like I was reading an article, and it was actually talking about Kevin Feige and other producers, their long debate and decisions to update Kamala Khan's powers. And they stated around the writers' room they don't really care about what it is in the comics one bit. They want it to match what they're doing in the films, and for it to match in the films and to bring the essence of the character, which I'm not familiar with her in the comics, but I feel like they did, like tying her powers into like her growth with her age and her interactions with school and stuff like that. But they're just not beholding to comics at all.
But on the comics, she was an Inhuman, and so they don't want to touch that because that got.
Well, not just that. They were talking more specifically about the stretchy abilities versus what they even called themselves the Green Lantern knockoff stuff.
Yeah.
Like how her powers were kind of a reflection of like her how she viewed herself and her emotions, how she was standoffish and stuff like that, and she was nervous. And I'm not too familiar with the comics, and I'm probably not doing the greatest job of explaining it, but
Does
they
she
just
get her
don't have
powers
her
from the
about-
Terrigen mist?
Yeah, it unlocked
Yeah.
her inhuman stuff.
Yeah,
And I think
she's
that's probably why they
she's
changed it. 'Cause it
inhuman.
had
Well,
extra beef
yeah,
patty.
if they did it today's episode gives away the origin a bit more if you've watched it already.
But again, to your point, Kevin Feige himself said they did not. It was strictly for aesthetics, and they didn't care. Like the Inhuman stuff wasn't a factor in it. It was strictly for aesthetics and wanting it to look more like it fits into the MCU universe. So they wanted the colorful stuff and all that. And
It was also probably cheaper because trying to get stretchy abilities to look good in CG is not easy. You can just make sparkly light CG. You're done. It's easy.
yeah, they got that down pat. The special effects do look good for it.
Yeah,
I haven't
But
watched
even
the
in like
episode
Doctor
yet.
Strange
save it for
too,
Mr. Fantastic.
Yeah,
Just kidding.
Spaghetti Fantastic Four still kind of look like garbage. So I mean,
Yeah, his face looked weird.
It-
I'm holding up to that. His face looked weird.
whose face?
Mr.
Reed?
Fantastic.
Mm.
Yeah.
It was the beard.
So, just to share a touch of my personal life, I talked to Taylor about this a little while ago. I decided to make a career change, and the job opportunity that came down the pipeline for everyone that's on the panel and everyone that's watching was that as of Monday coming, I accepted a position where I'd be going to straight afternoons, and which means I was going to have to retire this show or hand it off to someone else. Because obviously work comes first. And then there was a late hour offer from another place that came in. And after Taylor and I spoke, and this place came in with significant more money to help me with my career. So now that I'm not traveling, I guess it would be about 30 miles to get to work in one direction. I will be significantly closer and within 10 minutes.
Chris.
And hold on. But the best part is it's straight days, so I'm not going to have to retire this. So for those of you that enjoy this, not that you weren't aware that it was about to end. Not that you were aware that it was about to end.
I swear to God, I thought I would have bet the house that you were about to tell us you were moving to Florida to work for CGC.
Yeah,
Nice.
And, I'm off to Sarasota.
Right on.
But I will still do this every Wednesday. Depending on what the hours are with the next step in my life with this new opportunity, I may switch it back to 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time as a start time, or maybe I'll just keep it at 7:30. We'll see. Well, we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I just wanted to let everyone know that even though you weren't aware, I know Taylor was aware, but yeah, I'm making a change in my life that way, and yeah, it's not going to affect my new comic book day hangout. So yeah. All right, let's get into some comic books. Since I'm in the hot seat, I'll just blow myself up.
Nothing's affected our end.
Big announcement, everybody. Nothing.
Yeah, so the great announcement. It's like a Marvel miniseries.
So to quote the Who, meet the new boss, same as the old boss.
Yes, Chris just got his new job as head of PETA.
That's right. My plan is coming together. I will ruin Kraven the Hunter.
It's like I just read 5 issues and nothing changed.
I just ruined Kraven the Hunter and Batman's next. So, like I mentioned at the top, it's not a heavy week, but I feel it's a content heavy week. There's a lot of good books I'm looking forward to. And first is the franchise ASM number 4. This book is in the hot seat for me. I thought the last issue was a little bit of a waste of time. And but the best Spider-Man right now, pound for pound, is Miles Morales when it comes to storytelling. This whole Selim saga, along with his sister, has been really, really fascinating to read. And yeah, I'm looking forward to this. Another book I'm looking forward to needs no introduction on my channel, but Something's Killing the Children. 24. Issue 25, in case everyone's not aware, it's going to be a multitude of variants again. I think we got one more from Noctura. This has been a really good book as well. I'm enjoying it. Taylor, is it 12 issues?
I think so.
I believe it is.
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh, is it done
yeah,
after the next issue?
I
thought
believe
so.
so. Yeah, I thought maybe you would know.
I don't know.
Uh,
It doesn't feel like after reading 11. I don't know how they're
Uh,
going to wrap it up in an issue.
Everybody dies.
Newburn 8.
That one's going on hiatus.
Oh,
And I don't know if this came out last week or not, but Where Starships Go to Die, issue number
Oh,
1.
what a
Yeah,
great
that was
cover
last-
that is.
That was last
that is
week.
cool.
Yeah.
But never heard of it.
Okay. This was going to be my hot pick. This was going to be Mark's hot pick on Two Cool Guys, but it ended up being neither one of our hot picks, but Black Adam number 1.
Mm.
Black Adam number
Another
1.
mediocre trailer.
Blackest Adam. So yeah, Back in Black. So Mark's hot pick. Book I'm really looking forward to, the new Fantastic Four. I like that they kind of went and picked, all the great characters they have in their lineup, put them in that. And my hot pick was a cover pick, and enough said. Nightwing number 93,
Mm-hmm.
an incredible cover.
Book is
Bruno
insane.
Redondo doing good work.
I started reading it. That's insane.
Yeah,
I love it.
really, really good cover.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's my books for today. Austin LeMay's joined us. Austin, hope that you're doing well, my man. Yep. Flash, you know what I'm talking about. Right now, Miles has better storytelling than Peter.
Yeah.
And yeah. All right, Gary,
Sure.
my man.
All right.
Did you hit up is it Rhino Comics?
Yep, Rhino's Comics.
Yep.
So,
My man.
all right.
Show us
So-
what you got.
What I picked up this week, and they got me with this $10 book because the bastards went ahead and they put Black Cat on the cover. So of course I bought it.
Oh. Is that Marvel Voices?
Marvel
It is,
Voices.
but I
Yeah.
just hate that every time they have an event book, it's a $10 book, whether it's
Yeah.
DC or Marvel. They just
Joe?
rape your wallet. Then of course the wrap up with you got to get the Ron Lim cover when it comes to Silver Surfer.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
All right, then we got Maestro World War M. I've loved every Maestro series so far.
Me too.
Well, I'm sorry. What book is that?
Maestro World
Thank
War
you.
M.
Thank you. Okay.
Can you enunciate the title properly for us who can't do well?
Maestro? Why? Who doesn't know how to say Maestro?
You apparently. Nobody says Maestro on that cover.
Oh, Taylor Winder.
No, I know how to say that.
Oh, Winder.
All right, so
Maestro.
one of my favorite covers of the week, Noctera 11, the Dan Panosian cover.
Oh, can I
Oh,
have that
didn't
one?
see that.
That's way better than one. They didn't even have that at mine.
This is better than the Tony Daniels one this week.
Yeah.
Noctera's
So, of
has
course,
some
the
great
Tony Daniels
covers.
cover.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah. That's the only one they had at my store.
Okay.
Then, of course, Sonya, Samurai Sonya.
Hmm.
So I'm being optimistic, but they're probably going to write a crap story, but I'm going to try it out. And the Perillo cover.
Oh, I
There's
didn't know
nothing
Perillo
Perillo
did one.
can't do, obviously.
Yeah, I like that one.
Then Rogue Sun number 7. Fun little cover there.
Oh, yes.
Then one of my favorite horror series going right now, and I think this fell off a lot of people's radar after it didn't hit spec, and I just love this book. I think it's great. I think it's a fun read every time it comes out, and that's The Silver Coin.
I feel like
think
I
this
should be
book is
reading
just-
that.
It's not a spec book, so people don't pay attention, but it's
Yeah.
always
Somebody told me
storytelling.
that. Somebody
There was
told me
a few that I enjoyed. The arcade was probably the last one I read.
This week is written by Tynion, right? Or this month?
Let's see.
Somebody told me that last night, and they're like,
It
"Just
is.
go pick it up." Yeah. Whoops,
And then
I forgot.
Sheena with another great Perillo cover.
Good Lord.
My
Nice.
goodness, that's a nice necklace she has on.
Those
She's
abs
got like
of
12
steel.
abs. That's a
And
Perillo,
then
right?
I was
last-
gonna say.
The best cover that came out this week is, of course, from a guy who just passed because we've had a bad year for artists. And that is,
This is
the
true.
Vampirist Carmilla with the Ken Kelly artwork.
Oh boy.
Wow.
So, just Ken Kelly is one of those guys. You've seen his artwork on record albums, posters, advertisements, comics, novels, pulps, whatever is out there, he's done it.
I wasn't aware that he passed away.
Yeah, I think like last week or the week before, fairly recently.
Okay. Well, thanks, Gary. That was that Kelly cover. That's covered
Can
the
I,
week. I
can
can't.
I
I
skip
can't
in
argue.
line? My battery's about to puke on my
Sure.
laptop. All right, sorry guys.
It's a hat wearing Taylor Winder who spent a
Yeah,
lot of money
yeah.
this week. A lot of money.
Well, some of these came out earlier, like this, but my LCS they were all damaged. So
It was. I don't think I enjoyed it.
nah.
I don't think I enjoyed it either. I didn't read it.
Beware the Eye of Odin #1. This is like written by somebody who's writing a D&D adventure, not a comic.
Okay.
Oh, I didn't hear of that one. Is it worth anything?
Nah, not really. The art is cool. The story's weak.
Okay.
Okay.
It's weirdly, tonally, like sort of jokey, sort of not. It doesn't really work out too well. First appearance in here, at least, of Escapade. So,
Oh, now I'm gonna have that Janet Jackson song stuck in my head.
Yeah.
well, there you go. But yeah, this is the mixed bag. These voices are always a mixed bag of stories. But yeah, the Marvel sneaks first appearances in here, and then like 3 years later, they're all $1,000 books. So spend your $10 now.
All right.
See, Gary.
Something is killing my will to keep reading this fucking slow ass book.
Come on now.
Dude, it is slow.
What book was it?
Something's
killing
killing the children.
Oh,
This was all right.
Something is killing his interest.
Yeah.
Something is killing the wallet.
This is if you like the 80s surfer, you're gonna like this. Mark Wade. It's Mark Wade.
There's a first appearance in that too, isn't it?
I mean, it's the first costume. I mean, it's not the first time Batman and Superman have melded into something, but it's
Batman and Superman and Green Lantern come together like butt cheeks.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is the 8 cover. It's fine. This was really good. Duel, issue #2. It's a long time coming. The first issue is banger, and this one just finally came out. This is.
Did you get that from your shop, or did you have to order it through the?
I got it from my shop. It was but I had to pull it on my pull list because
who's
Bliss,
the publisher?
Bliss on Tap Publishing.
Oh,
it's a real small publisher, but the first issue is phenomenal. This is not quite there, but it's still pretty solid.
What's the quick synopsis on that, Taylor?
It's sort of like, the Purge is legal, but in this universe, dueling's allowed.
Oh,
you can pick your opponents, and then one of them has to kill the other. If neither of you do, then it's after 40 hours, it's open game, and people can kill you, collect the bounty. So,
wow,
nice.
It's an anthology, 10-issue thing. Yeah. Human Centipede of Red Room Trigger Warning. Heavy metal drummer with grandma prostitutes that are maybe alien cats. I don't know, whatever.
Has that book jumped the shark yet, or is it still good?
It's still. I mean, it's been nuts from day one. It's still nuts.
Okay.
So it's only got one more left. Just trade weight it if you have any interest. New Burn solid, and Moon Knight #12. Yeah. So,
okay.
There's a lot of books. Nothing fantastic. Not a lot of awful, but like nothing great.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for that, Taylor.
Oh, that's cute.
All right, Jim. Show us what you got.
Evidently not the best cover of Noctera.
all
Damn it.
Noctera covers are great.
Now, I might have to go to the other store to see if they have it. New Burn, because I think it's the bomb. I can't wait to read it.
So New Burn is going on a hiatus?
Until the
Now
fall.
Taylor has crushed my dreams, saying it's going on
It
a
says it at
hiatus.
the end of the issue. Spoiler, sorry.
Okay.
Maestro, there you go, Mark. With
Thank you, my friend.
King Shark or King Whale, or that just looks badass.
Different publisher, but okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, for the win.
Moon Knight. I actually thought about getting the variant on this because it looked better, but I didn't pull the trigger. I just said, "Give me that." I've already started reading this. I love this. This story is just, it's just the way they write it. I don't know.
With Suicide Squad not having a monthly right now, I think Nightwing might be the backbone of DC at this present moment.
And I don't pick on it too much. Kind of excited to see what happens here. We'll see.
Me too.
I do
Looking
love
forward
the
to that
cover
one.
though. But the variant was not bad either. I wish I'd, gotten the variant.
There was a few nice variants for it.
Yep. I got this, even though I'm not reading the Flash, but it is a crossover or a tie-in, so I thought I better read it and see how it ties in. because I am following Dark Crisis.
Funhouse.
This because Mark said that it goes along with the other stuff. Isn't this what you said?
Blitz.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so I get to see what happened 3 days prior to when he became the Super Ninja. And this because it's a cover by.
Fire
I don't
that
read
Dan
it.
Mora B cover.
But this is all they had left, and I'm fine with it because it is cool.
For those of you reading World's Finest, does it read like the old ones? Are they trying to copy that style? Because I used to love World's Finest back in the day.
It does not read like a Golden Age comic whatsoever. It does read slapsticky for today's time.
A little bit more 90s, yeah.
It's done like modern slapsticky, but then it delivers with like a little bit more serious tones too. So it's like it's got a good balance of like modern seriousness with that little breath of levity. Like just for context, like Supergirl has to carry Robin at some point in an issue. So he's riding with his arms crossed, and they start dialoguing about previous interactions just to kind of cut the tension. But it's not done in like an animated cartoon for kids light way.
Yeah.
Like,
I might have to check it out.
It's also not single issue stories, like it's a multi-issue arc.
Yeah, it's an arc. It's legitimately good. I mean, it's not going to be everybody's like favorite kind of thing whatsoever, but the quality is absolutely all there. And Dan Mora's art alone should sell that book.
Yeah, the art is great. The writing is solid. It's Mark Waid. It's not going to get like high highs or low lows. Like it's gonna.
Yeah, it's absolutely consistent. That's when there's nothing to complain about with that. The arc is awesome. It's involving a lot of characters in like throughout it. We've got Doom Patrol pop up. We got GL pop up.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, there's literally nothing to complain about with it. Again, it's not like it's breaking records, but it's a book that comes out that you can have zero complaints about. Like, it was fun. But I'm
just solid and
I can still
consistent.
complain.
No, I mean, yeah, but it's not valid. We appreciate that about you.
No, I mean, the plot just telegraphs its punches. That's all. I mean, it's a very predictable kind of.
Because like the book I last really enjoyed from DC was Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow, which I thought was really good.
Yeah.
I loved that series. It like blew my mind. He really captured the essence of that character and put it.
Hey, Gary, who wrote that book?
I already forgot. I know you can tell me.
I wonder if I think it was Tom King.
It was. Thank you.
Yeah.
That book was phenomenal. Like,
how gorgeous was it too?
Oh, it kind of reminded me of the Heavy Metal magazine from back in the day, the interior art.
That colors were just amazing with it. It was just like one of those perfect storms where you have the perfect artist for the tone of the book, and then the colorist and the artist just really increase each other's abilities.
The yellow tones worked very, very well.
Yeah.
And just the way that he
Jim, is that all you got?
Character, like I have to hold back every day, and just to give you the deep understanding of what she actually has to go through, what I thought was brilliant.
And there's always
on subtle levels.
Yeah, there's always that little sometimes in your face, sometimes more subtle. You can always guarantee a twist in a Tom King maxi. And the twist at the end of this one was phenomenal. Like, she's like, dude, the dog's fine. I just had to play this tape out for you, or your life would be ruined. I just drug myself through hell to save you. And she didn't put it in her face like that, but that's what she did for that little girl.
It was phenomenal. And the girl was a great character. I enjoyed her. Like, usually when they throw in a kid, they become annoying. And she wasn't. She was just complimented the offset of Supergirl.
I love the amends that the bad guy went to make at the very end. And she saw the girl all grown up and went to make the amends, and she just quietly stared at him. Then decked him. Got one good one on him. Like, yes. And then they went about their way. Yeah, I'm like, golly.
I had some people tell me they didn't enjoy it. I'm like, I'm not even a DC person. It was one of my favorite stories of the year. It was so good,
bro. When Comet went like light speed outrunning, I'm like, oh my god, the visuals, the colors. I'm like, this is insane.
Everything about that series fired perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it had a little bit of that True Grit flavor to it too, at least in the first few issues.
Yeah, they
it delivered well.
About that, where the editor sat down with Tom King and actually talked about that, and he's like, "Look, let's do True Grit." Like, they intentionally did like True Grit with superheroes, what it would look like.
Yeah, and
that's hilarious.
It delivered as one of those books that, at week's end on Mark's channel every Sunday night. when it was myself, Mark, and Ryan. It was one of those books that collectively the three of us were like, there's nothing bad we can say about this. Like,
you know what? It's just every panel and even when he went into long descriptions, they were perfect. You didn't get bored. It drew you in. It added to the story. It fleshed out everything going around, and none of the panels were wasted.
Maybe I'll get the trade.
Oh, it's definitely worth it.
Thanks for joining the show.
Maybe I'll pick it up if it's down there.
Well, don't take my word for it, but I mean, Gary just gave it high praise, and it's out of his wheelhouse.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Now I kind of want to feel like I need to at least get the trade.
Well, like I think people get the wrong impression. They think I'm a DC hater. It's just I don't connect with the characters as much as I connect with some of the other characters. That's all.
That's how people are with me with Marvel. It's like I love the Marvel characters. Just these days, most of the stories don't hit for me. You watch me try. People watch me try them. Chris knows when those issue 1s roll around, I hit them. Is it going to catch this time?
It's true, but the thing I can, like, in Mark's defense, everyone thinks that Mark is Captain DC, but when the Marvel book does hit, Mark praises that book even before he starts talking DC.
Well, no, I know Mark loves
when Ghost Rider hit 3 months ago, Mark was all about it. The Punisher run that we've been getting so far has been excellent, but these are psychological stories that's being told. These are not traditional Ghost Rider or Punisher stories. They're going outside of the character's wheelhouse, and that's why it's hitting so hard. And that's why I really hoped with the new ASM volume. So far, it has not been there.
Yeah, I tried the first two of Spider-Man because Ramita was doing the artwork, and while I love the art, I wasn't just drawn in heavily.
Remy, thanks for joining us.
And my pool's so big, I have to really be drawn in. Like I tried with Iron Man. I tried for a while with Iron Man. I really wanted that. I completely gapped the Sentinel of Liberty Captain America. I just completely missed it, but I should have picked that one up because last time I tried Cap, I didn't even share about it. I'm just
just that bad, huh?
Well, yeah. This most recent offering that came out last week, Sentinel of Liberty, is off to a tremendous start. Now they've fallen. Yep, they've fallen flat. They've fallen flat before with some of their legacy characters like Captain America and like Mark was talking about Iron Man. They fall flat.
That they've already burned out through the MCU. They're not. They're not pretending about that or trying to lie about it. They're like, we're using our comics for springboarding our movies. So if it's not something that they plan on working into the MCU, they have little to no care at all for those comics right now, and it's unfortunate. Look at Fantastic Four when they did not have the rights to them. They tanked the comics. They literally canceled the comics. Look at X-Men. They crapped X-Men so bad they had to restart it, and then they restarted it with so little care because they know it's not anywhere near the future. We have the current X-Men debacle where it's a convoluted mess of its own universe pretty much. Like you either read X-Men and that's your primary focus, or you don't read X-Men.
Like I know Mark's a little bit younger. Mark's probably a little bit younger than the three of us, but can you imagine in the late 80s, early 90s, someone would have said to you, the Uncanny X-Men books will be some of the worst selling Marvel titles in 30 years.
Dude,
you would have been like, you are full of crap.
On the planet.
Like you don't read comic books. You have no idea what you're talking about. Come on, and Uncanny X-Men carry Marvel.
Through just the horrid art they had put in them too, like
but there's like 8 million different. We've got X swords, X this, X that.
Every month there's a new.
It's
every other week there's a new X title. X-Men number 1 every 2 weeks.
Well, I think both the two big twos could use an exercise in less is more when it comes to some of their big characters.
Yeah,
I agree.
Focus more on story, less about having 80 appearances of them in 60 books. You know what I mean? Just
right. It was, I guess it's almost a year and a half ago, Mark. Maybe DC went through this big dispersal of characters and monthlies and everything, and then they brought in the Infinite Frontier storyline afterwards. And I remember thinking, my God, you guys have no idea what you're doing. And Mark just quietly said, Chris, just pick it up. Just pick it up. You might be into it. And let me tell you, the storytelling that they got out of it since, I mean, like I preached for almost a full year, the Suicide Squad, think about Suicide Squad was the backbone of the DC continuity. And it was fantastic storytelling, and it grew from there. And the biggest franchisable character they got, his own monthly isn't that good. Batman is not that good right now. And the thing is,
Oh, well,
every other week
that's
we're getting a new
hard.
Batman title.
Yeah,
And-
they've got that. I'll give them credit. Like they wanted that big name, and that kind of backfired on them because that big name that they wanted was too spread out, too thin. But now, like with Williamson just doing a few filler issues, we're about to
We'll see where it goes now.
we're about to potentially get probably the best Batman era since Snyder's run. They're bringing in Chip Zdarsky for a long run. Like that's probably like he knows how to work street level heroes. We know that from his time on Daredevil.
Can we just get a Demon limited series at least, though?
Thank you.
That would be cool.
Thank you.
I
Another
want a
one.
Man
Bat.
Bat.
Is
I
such
want
a
a
great
Man Bat
character.
four-issue miniseries.
We just had Man Bat last year.
Yeah, let's,
I just want some Demon.
do him
You
dirty.
forgot about that, didn't you?
Give him a
Do
little
him dirty.
Give him a little.
A Black Label Man Bat. But yeah, that's to me where DC storytelling is catapulting itself in front of Marvel is that Black Label stuff. And I will pound my fist saying, like, you think I'm wrong? Go ahead and read Swamp Thing Green Hell. You don't need any kind of knowledge about Swamp Thing to read that book and to be like, oh my goodness, this is good stuff. Or read Rogues.
Rogues. I'm liking Rogues a lot.
Yeah, that was really good. Those Black Label titles, like for the absolute most part, are just really, really well done.
Yeah, but yeah, Flo was right. X-Men are the Bat family of the Marvel. They were like it again. Like I said, if you would have asked any one of us on this panel in late 80s, early 90s, will the X-Men be the worst? Some of the worst selling comic books, or some of the X-Men books, the most unreadable books in 30 years from now? We all would have laughed in your face.
Right, and I want to see both companies bring back that '80s flavor where they weren't afraid to put out 4-issue miniseries and just tell a quick, good story.
Yeah, good story.
Okay, so aggressively relaxing is on the other side of it, saying X-Men is a triumph of human creativity right now. Huge connecting stories using decades of stories in the full cast of the X-Men world. I gotta admit, I am going to give Marvel's next crossover a go. The whole Eternals, Avengers, and X-Men storyline, Judgment Day, I believe it's called. That's coming.
Yeah,
I'm going to give it a go. I'm going to give it a go.
What could go wrong with crossing those people over? Empire.
Well, they did the Fantastic Four
I
dirty.
skipped the whole Banner War thing. I'm getting my issues of Thor because I read Thor, but I'm not reading anything. And I'm just reading those just because I get them. But that's all, just the Thor issues.
Tell you what, I was reading just Hulk, so I picked up the Thor ones to get the story because rain, sleet, or snow, I'm going to read the Hulk books, and I wanted the whole story. And in the process of getting the Thor, I was able to pick up the God of Hammers. Was that the name of it? That story?
Yeah.
And I was able to pick up that whole story
as a character.
So I got up early one morning last week and just read all 5 issues before work. And dude, it was so much fun. Like I really, really enjoyed that story arc.
Why can't he do that with the Hulk?
And I'm not a big Donny Cates fan either. Like Thor is literally the only thing I enjoy from him.
Do you read crossover?
I started to, and then I dropped off.
Oh man, do not pick up where you left off. Just grab issue 7 and read forward. That second arc is, oh my god. And I'm not a Cates apologist. I've only read that's pretty much all I've read of his that I enjoyed is crossover's second arc. That first arc was fun, but that second one is fire.
Just respond to Flo. I believe Green Hell is every other month. And Eli, I have yet to read it. Taylor was on the panel earlier, and it seemed like he was positive about it.
I'll be reading it later. I love Silver Coin. I think it's a slept-on horror series. Everyone talks about Ice Cream Man, haha. This has got a clever premise with that coin, and you can tell a story in any time period with it. It's great with any character from any walk of life, and it just works.
So Cat Fan has said, if you don't leave the X-Men in a story and you stick with it, its greatest story, you just can't leave it, have to stay with it. You can't miss 2 issues or you're lost. I think you're right. But the thing is, there's just so many X books being released almost monthly. There's always a brand new X title or another mini series.
That's why I never got back into it. It's like
it's hard to keep up.
This will make sense to those that have been around a little while, but I feel like the X-Men title needs a Jim Shooter for a little while.
You know,
Like the way that he was editor-in-chief and he kept things like he thought about the people that are picking those books up off the shelf first.
Right.
100% first and foremost. And it really, he rubbed a lot of people the wrong way doing it, but anybody can go pick up a comic and read it and get out of it what they're supposed to. You can't do that with X-Men right now. I'm not saying that if you don't sit there and read X-Men like you're smoking crack, you won't understand it. You will. But you shouldn't have to treat one character in the universe like an addiction in order to get it, which you just pointed out, Cat Fan. If you miss 2 issues, you're lost. And back to Aggressively's point, they've doing all this from decades and this. You can put all of that into books, but it doesn't make it coherent. And that's the problem with it.
And there's a few X-Men characters, Mark, that I love, but I'm not going to pick up a book for Domino and Dazzler and have to pick up 17 other books to read a whole story.
I have all of Gambit's series. Finn that's actually Finn's middle name. His first name is Remy, and I love Gambit. Loved him since I was a kid. He's just too cool for school. But I'm on the fence if I'm not going to even pick up this new run or if I'll just wait and just get it down the road. They're about to be doing another Gambit limited series, and
right.
But I like the art in it, or at least I like the piece that they showed. So,
I think he's getting specced on again because all his back issues have started jumping up.
I love Aggressively. Are you not entertained, dude? I will tell you though, the single best just individual issue of X-Men and a comic book really that I've read in like 10 years was an X-Men tie-in for Empire when the little plant people tried to invade that little X-Men island and they didn't know what to do, so they went to go get the old head on the island who could help him out, and it was Magneto sitting naked in his room talking to these kids, which we'll let that go, but he just comes out clothed and does what Magneto does, and it was just awesome the way that they showed it. Like the big hulking plant guy comes up to him, he's walking at the Magneto, and Eric's not even flinching, and a satellite just lands on the guy. And he barely crawls out. He starts talking smack again. Then a bigger satellite lands on him. And then by the end of the issue, you find out that they weren't random satellites. There were specific satellites that were being used to monitor them that he plucked out so that they wouldn't have to compensate whoever owned the satellites because they weren't supposed to be monitoring them to begin with. So I'm like, dude, that's Magneto right there. That's next level. That was awesome.
Okay, so Flash is saying, so Flash is saying he thinks that Gambit is going to be like the 90s flashback book, kind of like what we have right now with Lethal Protector and Rebirth.
And the new Fantastic Four that just dropped today as well.
Brian, thanks for spending some time with us.
They're about to be doing a Marvel. Like, I love Legacy and their Genesis or whatever. Like Captain Marvel's son back when the day when Rick Jones had the nega bands and he would bang them together.
What was the other? And Jack of Hearts, I have a feeling something's coming up with him because they've brought Jack of Hearts back and been putting him in a bunch of stuff.
In in Rebirth and in She-Hulk. Granted, Rebirth, they didn't really bring him back. This is pre-death. He didn't die till shortly before Avengers Disassembled. So it was like the early 2000s because that's how
he's a fun little character.
It's in my bag hanging on the chair right now.
Yeah, I like Jack of Hearts.
Mark, you got your books close by?
Yeah.
Sir, show us what you got.
I haven't picked up my Marvel Ninnies, but I'm getting the new Fantastic Four that I'm really pumped about. Get some Joe Fixit and Ghost Rider fussing with Logan for a couple of issues. That'll be fun. Silver Surfer Rebirth. We only find them when they're dead is one I have to pick up tomorrow. She went outside, baby. But I picked up World's Finest, which was really good. This is just a good series. You would enjoy it a lot, Gary. Black Adam #1, which I think the writer kind of leaned a little bit too much into showing us that he knows Egyptian words. So they kind of messed up the story. Like, for real, like you're just going through and they're just, the dialogue is unnecessarily calling back to ancient Egyptian history. And we don't use these words in our regular everyday language. So you're reading a book and you have to stop to really hit those words, but whatever. Dark Crisis Young Justice 1 of 6. This was really, really well done. The end kind of tapered off, but this was fun. I enjoyed that a lot. I'm looking forward to those. The Flash issue number 783, which was another good one. Flash is always at the center of a crisis, and they're bringing out the Flash fam. So we got some Max Mercury, some Jay Garrett, and picked up Jurassic League #1. This is the second print because it had the other characters.
Oh,
it's an awesome Juan Gideon cover.
I didn't know
Got
that
the
it went to
Flash,
second
the
print.
Aquaman on there. They've yet to really show up in the book, so might as well get one with them on the cover.
Yeah.
And don't judge me, but I picked up the Aquaman Flash Void song, and it's I didn't know if it was gonna be another
green. You got hooked into that Green Arrow. This could be as good. This could be as good. When I saw it, I said to myself, I bet you Mark picks that up.
This was not
Mark's still floating on that black label, and was it Andromeda that came out last week?
This was not on my pool. But Paul, my LCS owner, he knows me. He threw it in my box. I'm like, dude, it's square bound. It's got a more it's more to read. I have more to read now. And dude, surprisingly, this is not Deep Target. This is actually handled really serious. The way that it's kind of formatted with this invasion coming, you get like these countdowns and stuff through it. It was actually pretty intense. I thought I did not, but I would not recommend Deep Target to anybody. It was fantastic, but I don't recommend it. I'm not being
what a bad name. It's like such a porn name. Deep.
It is Void Song, Deep Target. Who's writing these? But this I would say if you like just good superhero stories, I say give this a shot because I mean I like Aquaman. You know what I mean? We don't get a ton of Aquaman stuff right now, so I was happy to pick up Deep Target to give it a try. Happy to pick up Void Song. This was surprisingly good.
Mark, are they going to bring back Donna Troy ever?
She's not gone anywhere.
I haven't seen her pop up or seen her on any covers.
She was in every single issue, all 15 issues of Teen Titans Academy. So that's primarily where you find her is in the Academy. So you also see her in Dark Crisis pages because now the Teen Titans are the seniority on the planet with the Justice League gone. You know, they're the new Justice League, the Young Guns are not taking the mantle. You know, they might take the name, but the Teen Titans are now, they're the senior superheroes, which is super cool in my opinion. Like, yes, they're not the Teen Titans; they're just the Titans. You know, they're adults.
They can only be teens for so long.
Yeah,
right.
But yeah, Donna Troy, Cyborg, Nightwing, Beast Boy, they're all the Titans that are.
And I loved her 4-issue mini from back in the day, which was really good too. When it put her with the gods.
Oh, from the
before she came back to life,
wasn't it?
Yeah,
that was it was called like DC Special or something like that.
Yeah. I got him over there. One of my long boxes.
I love how it opens. Like it opens with talking about her convoluted history, her births and deaths and stuff, and like on the first couple pages, you see like Hank Henshaw shooting her through the chest with the eye laser and stuff.
Yep.
And that panel, I can picture it clear as day with Henshaw laid back and her over him on one knee like she's about to take him out, and the beam just going straight through her heart.
She's another character that doesn't get enough justice. Like that could be, she can carry her own mag and just give her a good writer.
I mean, that's the case with anybody, man.
Right, it is.
Like you have Cassie finally. I mean, where the hell has Young Justice been? You know, that's what's cool about this. They're actually touching on that. They get a little meta. Like they don't ignore the fact that these characters are sidelined more often than not. Like the two of them have died and come back in the last 5 years and it hasn't been talked about. They're talking about how it hasn't been talked about in the comics even, you know, like I highly recommend this if you keep up with any DC continuity at all. This really was, I was shocked. I'm like, dude, y'all are really taking a lot of attention to the details of what's going on. This Williamson helming a crisis, I think, is going to be like one of the best things that's happened for DC and its continuity after we get through it. With him being able to restructure and make big decisions that steer more books than just the one he's on and characters than he was working on, might be that big shift that a lot of people have problems with. You know, what's with this and what's with that? And this could be what was that? 0 Hour, but done correctly. I mean, 0 Hour had its faults, but its specific intention from behind the curtain was to tighten up a few of the continuity issues after the first big crisis, you know, bringing the worlds together. Some things didn't line up, so they ran 0 Hour to try to do that. I think Dark Crisis might be our modern day 0 Hour. After, you know, the death metal and the actual shakeup with the employees and everything, and then slimming their titles down from like 60 something a month on the shelf down to like umpteen when they did the Future State thing, and then they've been slowly building their catalog back since. But
Well,
as they
I'm gonna
build
read-
it, there's a lot of hands in the cookie jar. You know, a lot of different people with a lot of creative freedom. So things are going in different directions. You have to kind of draw the line of continuity on different titles and different times.
Because I got to read next week. I got all the Yara Floor books. I got to read those.
Yeah, I love
I
Yara.
have all of them, so I'm just going to sit down and read them in one shot.
And
Yeah,
I don't know if
such
you had
an
a
interesting
future.
character.
Yeah, her best outings were during Future State. She had the
Agreed.
2 issues of her own title, which were phenomenal. But most of all, yeah, her in Future in her own title, Justice League, and in the Superman Wonder Woman title, which I thought that was the best example of her.
I thought
Because she was a
her,
little bit seasoned in that one, you know, like they were all done in different years on the timeline.
What's
her first
the-
issue of her first monthly was good, and then second through, I think that she only made it through 5 or 6 issues, and they quickly trailed off a little bit. But again,
I think Jordi Belair was overworked doing 100% of the book.
yeah, it's an interesting character. Like that, this could be, you know, a Miles Morales type of character for DC if she's done right.
Now, what do you think the possibility is of like a Wonder Girls book, like they had Batgirls? Because I was getting really excited for Batgirls, and I picked up that first issue, and as soon as I looked inside, the art was so hard. I'm like, I wouldn't even be able to read it.
Yeah, I couldn't read it. I was like,
I mean, why would you take these characters that are so legendary and then put that kind of art on them and not show any?
Because they
respect
think
to the
it's
characters?
good. They think people like it. I think
Yeah.
I think one thing that's happening is our age is showing, where we see that art like this is tough for us to get through. You have these kids that are reading mangas and stuff that are also reading comics, and they pick it up and they're perfectly fine with it, you know.
Because I was
Yeah.
going to read that book, and then the art just threw me so bad. I couldn't do it. I couldn't pick it
We're
up.
also spoiled, Gary. We had George Perez growing up, you know,
Yeah.
and he knew how to draw a human, and he knew how to cover a whole page.
John
They
Buscema,
put-
all these.
Yeah, they
great-
put stick figures up, and you know, it's just
Neil
with big
Adams.
eyes.
John Byrne.
He
John Byrne.
was next.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I see, guys, Sector 2815 is in the chat right now, and I know he's enjoying the Dark Crisis storyline, but not to. I gotta plug someone else's channel. So this week on Slab Hub, that's coming. Rob will not be available for that episode. However, myself and Gary B, the Casual Comic Guy, will be at the helm, and it'll be Paul returning once more to share his fantastic slab collection this Saturday afternoon. So for those of you that are in the chat and want to come on out, it'll be Gary and myself running Slab Hub, and we'll see what we do with it.
Are you
And
going to run into the ground?
and
yeah.
but one of the nicest, kindest people on this planet, Paul, will be joining us from Sector 2815.
Yeah, I'm
And,
excited because I haven't got to meet Paul yet, so I'm excited
Okay.
for this to
Yeah,
co-host.
he has an incredible Green Lantern collection, as you would expect, but he pulls out a lot of bangers where you're
Oh,
just
I've
like,
watched his
oh my
episodes.
sweet Jesus, that's
Yeah.
good.
He put out some Superman ones too, didn't he? I mean,
Incredible
Yeah.
books.
But yeah, well, guys, we're approaching the hour mark, and yeah, well, probably not as much as what we are, Paul. Probably not as much as we are, but yeah, aggressively, you might be onto something there. But Gary, what's coming up on the Gary B, the Casual Comic Guy YouTube channel?
Well, we got a one-shot special coming up Friday night that I'm hosting. We got
Right.
Metarog's on it, Mike from Night Tiger Comics, Bub from Bub's World, Bill from Comic Mag Musings, Joe from Anachronic Comics. And what I'm doing is they're all bringing 5 flag covers, and we're doing a patriotic show where they're all going to show 5 different flag covers that mean something to them. Just a little patriotism between Flag Day and 4th of July over here in the States.
You know what day is in between those 2 days? Canada Day. So if anyone wants to show up with a Canadian flag cover, Alpha Flight, hello.
I was going to say Alpha Flight might have one.
Alpha Flight might, but no. Mark actually showed one of those recently on one of his videos, that famous Venom and Carnage cover done by Clayton Crane where he's like crawling
Oh yeah.
across, and he has like the American flag behind him. There are Canadian variants of that as well. Yeah, just a heads up. But no,
And you just need like a little thing that when you push it, it's like, "Oh Canada, my home and native land,
Yeah.
true patriot love through all our sons command," and keep going with it. Yeah,
keep going with it.
Oh my gosh.
You can't be a hockey fan and not know a couple different anthems.
Jim, what's coming up on the Digger Jim YouTube channel?
You know, nothing right now.
All right.
Gonna try to maybe shoot some footage this weekend and then sit down and edit it. Maybe get with the bro before I leave to come back up here, and we might have to wait until afterwards to do a show us what you got at the con. You know, that's what I'd like to do. So that's going to be in the works for sure.
Mark, what's coming up on the Legion of Comics? Are you going to be available for Sunday?
Of course I am, Chris.
All right. You see what I did there? Mark, what's coming up on Legion of Comics?
Today's Wednesday, so nothing tomorrow. Friday is the community hangout in the mornings. Saturday, looking at the pool list for this coming week. Sunday's that week's end, and Monday should be a CGC unboxing of some Perez books from the Perez signing. It took them a while to get back because I had to change my payment in the middle of it and talk about that and the potential frustrations of changing your payment and your address because I moved to a new house and they did not update my address.
Ooh. So, Jim, Mark, I know you guys are going to Heroes Con.
Yes.
Are you guys going to be shooting any footage from
Spooning?
down there?
Oh,
Spooning? Yeah. But remember,
Yeah.
spooning leads to forking, but are you going to be shooting any footage?
shooting any forking? It
yeah,
depends on what clubs we go to.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, good night.
That's really Jim's thing, the young people sporking.
Oh,
See him
Lord.
Jello wrestling.
Yeah, I'm gonna shoot
Yeah.
some footage.
Okay.
If not, then my bro will be. One of us
Thank
or
you,
both
Jim.
of us will be. And I'll give it all to DJ Links, and he can edit it and take care of that for me and put in some cool music and all that. But yeah, I want to shoot some footage. I told. Unfortunately, we found out today that Nick will not be attending.
Oh.
But I did talk to him and I DM'd him and because I got a mystery box coming, which he was going to bring with him, but now he's going to mail it. So I said,
Nick, I know you can't make it. I know things are hard, but you better get to the post office.
Yeah, but no, I mean, he messaged me and said, do you want me to mail it? And I was like, well, yeah, whenever. I mean,
Or send the money back, one or the other.
But no, because we did this because what he was doing with donating with Roscoe and all that.
Yeah.
I saw
but
DJ's box. It was incredible.
I don't think there's any exclusives at this thing, but I told him if there was anything cool like that, I'd shoot a picture and say, hey, do you want this? I'll pick it up for you.
Cool.
So,
Well, guys, I'm looking forward to seeing some footage of Heroes Con or some pictures. So make sure you put it
go
up.
live.
Yeah,
We'll do a Chip Getler and go live and walk around.
Yeah.
very cool.
I'm trying not to plan on doing anything at the con. And
Just
so
enjoy
far,
it.
Yeah,
He's
dude,
party
whether
guy.
I'm at a con or I'm sitting in the hotel room, this is about to be a good weekend for me.
Well, guys, have a good time. And Gary, I will see you Saturday on Slab Up. Everyone that's
Yes,
still
sir.
hanging out, I'll be dropping a Walmart video probably in the next little bit. Sunday will be two cool guys top picks, and Mark and I will be dropping it like it's hot. And Sunday night, you can catch me on his channel. And some point, probably next 2 weeks, you'll probably catch me on his channel. And one of these days, Jim will invite me on his. But guys, happy new comic book
Why are you
day.
so
Thanks for spending some
snobby,
time
Jim?
with us.
I don't get invited places either, Chris. Don't feel bad.
Okay. All right. That's what we do. Anyways, guys, stay safe out there and take care, everyone.